worst offender as of late was the Queen movie. Oh boy, Bohemian Rhapsody.
I didn't watch that. I heard a lot of people really liked it.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a fun movie, but like, if you've ever seen Jersey Boys or any other musical band one, it's the same old story. Great music, just lazy and boring story. That's all it really is. And like, they present all this stuff that never happened. They never had the guy, what's his name, Mike Myers' character. Mm-hmm. That guy never existed. They just wanted to put that in basically to show like the troubles they had, really, but it wasn't factual at all. Freddie Mercury didn't have, his AIDS hadn't affected him so much so yet by the time of Live Aid. Narratively is great, but factually is just awful. Like, I wanted to see more of the factual side of it, admittedly.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'll take a good story, I suppose.
Did you ever watch the movie Glory Road when that came out?
Actually, I haven't.
Because I made a documentary about the true story. So Glory Road's about the first all African-American, not team. It's the first time that a team played all African-American players in an NCAA basketball championship. It was interesting because the movie made it look like it all happened in one season. But the events of that movie happened across like 4 years, I think it was. Oh. And there were other things, like there's a scene where one of the players gets beat up in a restroom in the South. And that never happened. That never happened. Like, that's not to say that kind of thing never happened, but it never happened to the team. One of the reasons, and I actually got to interview some of the players from the team. It was awesome. I did it for my documentary. And one of the reasons that they said it never happened is because, well, they never invited us to play in the South. Like, none of the Southern teams would play us. So, and he's like, the coach generally protected us from that sort of thing. So we never really experienced it ourselves. That's not to say that they didn't experience racism, but they didn't experience that whole, their rooms getting trashed and, red paint on the walls and getting beat up in bathrooms. That's just not something that they experienced. But I think they were trying to reflect what was going on in the South.
That sounds a lot like Remember the Titans, almost.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's just because that's how sports drama stuff works, especially when you're dealing with race, too. I mean, you kind of have a set formula, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, not set.
We Are Marshall.
You know what I mean.
I actually don't know how accurate that was to the... I imagine it had to have been fairly accurate, considering that is a very dramatic story. Have you ever seen We Are Marshall?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch it. That's the one with... which team is it?
Oh,
It's a Virginia team, I want to say. Marshall University in West Virginia. Yeah, it's from 2006. It's where the whole 37 football players, 5 coaches, 2 athletic trainers, the athletic director, and 25 boosters, and a crew of 5 people all died in one car crash. Or in a plane crash.
Oh, dang.
Yep. So the only people that were left were, like, the assistant coach and, like, 3 players.
Wow.
And that's it. Just the assistant coach and 3 players. And so it's them rebuilding.
Well, okay then. Wow. That's just really depressing, man. Not gonna lie.
Oh, it is. It's really sad, especially because it's like they're leading it up and they're like making sure that you understand how one of them was like, one player didn't make it because he was sick, so he never made it onto the plane. That's how he survives, because he was sick, and so he didn't make it in time for the plane. And then another one was the assistant coach. He was going to be on the plane, and then one of the boosters, he was like an older man, and he was like, oh man, my granddaughter's doing her recital, and it's tomorrow, but I'm not going to make it because we're driving back. And he's like, well, why don't you take my plane ticket? And I'll drive back because I don't have any pressing business. He's like, oh, thanks. That's how he survives.
Oh my god, that's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, he was going to quit, and then they hire like a new head coach who's Matthew McConaughey, because of course it's Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's Matthew Fox is the assistant coach then. And so Matthew McConaughey comes back and he's like, "Hey, I really need you." And I if I remember correctly, I'm doing this off of my memory. And so the assistant coach is just like, "Okay, you got one season. Like, I'll help you for one season, and that's it." That's a really dramatic movie. It's a good movie, though. I don't understand why. I'm reading here that it has like a 49% on Rotten Tomatoes. I really like that.
Well, there's plenty of things that are terrible on Rotten Tomatoes scores, but are you just like. It's all right.
The consensus is Matthew McConaughey almost runs We Are Marshall to the end zone, but can't stop it from taking the easy, feel-good route in memorializing this historic event in American sports. I would agree with that. It definitely is a little in that formulaic, feel-good movie sort of thing, but